Welcome to the second part of the first episode. In this episode, we are only working on the first 8 bars and trying to write and determine what kind of harmony we want to have there. In order to do it, I usually start with the bass. And the reason for it is that once you're having the bass, once you're having the root, then you can determine what kind of harmony you can have later. It's one of the key factors that can define all the relations between the chords and would give you a lot of different options to choose from. So in this part, we will only do the basis of the first 8 bars. Let's figure out what chord we're gonna have here, what harmony we're gonna have here, and all of that comes within, choosing the right bass. I can do C if I want to treat it as a sus2 or like as an add 9 resolving to the tonic if I want to do like a C major chord. But I'm kind of like thinking, what if I do the C major somewhere else and not here? So let's do G. And because it's the fifth, so maybe here we can have let's just have a B. And why? Because we want to have this contrary motion because it's gonna feel better rather than just the melody goes down and then the bass goes down. It would be too much. It's just gonna drag everything down. It's not good to make everything parallel going down or all parallel going up. I'm thinking so either you can like stay on the G, but let's just stay on the G also so you can see what's gonna happen. Let's say if you just stayed by the G, which is not my ideal, and then go to the next bar and see what we can do there. We can go to a C, but it's not gonna be nice. And then if you want to go again, you're going back to the G. What you want to do? You want to again go back to, let's say, G. All right, but let's hear and I'm telling you how I would think. It's sounding very boring for me. What if I bring this to B and instead of C here, I take it to F? And why would I take it to F is because I can then treat this as a fifth. And here I might have, some other stuff. Here my hands are open if I can treat this bar as a G major first inversion with a B in the bass, or can treat it something else like a B half diminished, B minor 7 flat 5. And that flat 5 comes from the F because B minor 7 is B D, F sharp, A, since we're also having A here, so we can treat it as a seventh, but let's say because we are not having any F sharp, which we may add later on, I don't know, but we can treat it as a B minor 7 flat 5 or like the G major first inversion. So we should see how we can go, but then I'm thinking of going to an F would be way better. And then maybe instead of the G, I go to an E to treat this as the minor third. So we're going to have an E minor chord here. Somehow we are going to have G or G major first inversion, which is totally fine with a ninth, in the melody. And then we are going to a F major, and then we're going to the E minor. And then let's see what we can do on the next bar, which we're having an E, maybe a C here. And why we're going to a C? Because again, we can characterize this E, which is a major third. So it's going to give us a strong C major, and then going to the ninth, which is a D, and then so on and so forth. So let's see what's going to happen. And then let's decide what we're going to do for the next bar. what I'm gonna do here is I don't want to keep it as a C because it's gonna be boring. I cannot have an F because the F is gonna clash with this B because it's gonna be like a tritone, right? F to B is gonna be an augmented fourth, diminished fifth. It's kind of gonna clash. Clashing in this specific term here. You can have lots of tritones in a right way, but to this context, I don't want to have that. So anyway, I'm thinking here to still have that C major character, but not a C major. So I would rather go to a relative minor, which is an A minor. So I would just choose my bass as an A. So I am going to a G. Why I'm going to a G? Because I'm having a D. I'm going to do B here. Let's just have a listen to it and see what has happened so far. All right. Today we wrote 8 bars, the basses, and we thought about the harmonies that we want to have on each bar. In the next part, I'm gonna show you how to write the inner voices, how to think, and what options do we have. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next part.